So all you racing fans out there have probably heard of EA's Need for Speed and Burnout series, but what you might not know is that the guys behind Burnout are actually working on the new Need for Speed game. Here to show us Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is Craig and Dana from EA. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
So Craig, you guys at Criterion, you worked on Burnout Paradise, which is a game that you could play and enjoy single player, but it was at its best in a multiplayer social experience. How are you sort of translating that over to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit?
Well, we did a lot of stuff with Burnout Paradise. We did a lot of free burn challenges, and we found out, even years later, that people played that game for 200, 300, 400 hours just driving around and doing stuff with their friends. So we were really interested in taking the connected side of that and kind of building on that more. So we had a very small feature in Burnout called Road Rules, where you got to compare times set on each road in the game against your friends. And we thought, how's about we blow that out, and how's about we put a measurement and a comparison on pretty much everything you do in the game, and bring your friends into the heart of your game and compare everything seamlessly. So that's what we've done, and that system's in the game, and it's called Autolog.
Well, we've actually got that right here to give everybody a little visual taste of what Autolog entails. So Craig, walk us through Autolog. Tell us what this whole screen is all about.
So Autolog is the connected heart of the game. When you boot up the software, you'll actually see this screen, and you can see activity that's been happening with your friends, kind of scrolling past there. You see breaking news. You see what your friends have been up to. You can also see that you can go and access photos, so very kind of social network side of it. You can take screenshots in the game and post them up. We also have a wall where you can comment on different events and kind of smack talk with your friends inside the game, which is really cool. Hot Pursuit Online is the easy way that you connect with your friends and get together online and play Race, Interceptor and Hot Pursuit. Career we'll go into in a second. Autolog recommends, very key feature for us. The cool thing about Autolog is kind of like when you buy a book from, say, Amazon, and you have a book and it says, you might like this as well, we recommend this to you. Okay. Autolog kind of does that. So it will say, you've been playing this event a lot, so have your friends. This event's really hot at the moment, you might like to play this. Or one of your friends has just beaten your time, would you like to kind of throw the challenge back to him? If Dana actually just goes into Autolog. So you can see in here, the SCPD and the little the driving icon there signify that they're both racer and cop events. You can play as both a cop and a racer in this game, but you can see that different people have been beating you at different things. Down the bottom right hand corner there, you can see the speed wall constantly active. It tracks attempts, it tracks the car driven, and also the time set. So it's a very, very powerful comparison engine we have in the game, and it's always smart, and it's always giving you new things to do and changing the way you play.
All right, cool. So, now that we've sort of covered the tools that are there to, link experiences and players together, why don't we take a look at the real meat and core of the game, which is the racing element.
So if we go into the main career here, you can see the map. This is where you choose your different events. You can see that Dana could choose a cop event or a racer event, and in the top right hand corner that actually changes to signify his progression in that particular part of the game. So the game's based on ranks. We have 20 ranks in the game. Everything that you do in the game earns you bounty, which earns you a new rank, which unlocks new cars and new events. So what we're going to jump into here is an event called Dark Horse. Okay. This is actually one of the events that we're shipping in the demo, which is coming out very, very soon. And Dana's going to get to play as a cop. #1 most requested feature for Need for Speed players in the last 8 years, the ability to play as a cop. So we thought we'll really go to town on that, and we'll give you a full career progression, both online and offline on both sides. So Dana's going to choose a car here. Please don't choose the Crown Vic. He likes the Crown Vic, but I keep telling him it's not as good as some of the other stuff. You
got to use your imagination. Crown Vics are all over the street here. You got to go with the creative cop car.
I love the Crown Vic, but 370Zs.
He loves playing as the Crown Vic, and then he moans when he loses. So it's like, he's not taking my advice on either count.
No.
So he's gone with my advice here. He's choosing the 370Z. So in this event, Dana's playing as the cop. Obviously, for people who've been playing Need for Speed for a long time, they know what the cop's role is, because usually you're playing as the racer and the cops are trying to shut down the race. So that's exactly what Dana's doing now. He's going to be chasing after the racers. If he shuts them all down and completely shuts down the race, he'll post a time, and he'll also get a gold, silver, or a bronze, a distinction or a pass. So he's off and running here. You'll see down in the bottom left-hand corner, he actually has weapons available to him.
Oh, really?
And I don't mean weapons in kind of like, you know, missiles and Gatling guns and crazy
red
stuff.
shells and green shells?
Yeah, there's none of that stuff, right? It's kind of, this is based in reality, so in previous Need for Speed games, you will have seen roadblocks and helicopters and spike strips. You can see pretty much the same thing is now under Dana's control. So on the D-pad down the left-hand corner of the screen, you can see if he presses down on the D-pad, if he gets in front of a racer, he can use a spike strip, drops out the back of your car, expands, takes out the tires. His roadblock weapon is actually charging up, that's on the right, so that's not available yet. And the two other weapons that he doesn't have available in this event are the helicopter, which flies out in front of the racer and drops a spike strip in front of him, or an EMP, which is a kind of electromagnetic pulse which locks onto the racer in front of you and bang, zaps their car, temporarily immobilizes them and allows you to move in for the bust.
Now, are you able to use sort of the environment to your advantage, like in Burnout, sort of nudge somebody into another car or obstacle and cause them to wipe out? I
mean, the thing about Criterion making Need for Speed is that there are certain expectations. Right? You can see that, you know, when we approached how would a cop bust a racer, right? I could kind of, I could dry hump the guy to a standstill, kind of, you know, or I could smash him into a wall at 200 miles an hour, right? So we've gone down the Criterion route, which is smash him into the wall at 200 miles an hour, or get hit by them, as Dana said.
I was trying to drive the spike belt.
So, you know, absolutely you can use the environment. What's he done there?
I busted him. Dude, I won.
Oh, well,
you can mock it, but I won.
Yeah.
Personal best, minute 31, top of the speed wall.
So a fantastic demo by Dana there, obviously. You know, he actually made that look very easy, apart from the rubbish bust at the end, but I'm joking. So, you know, he goes onto the speed wall there, it's a new personal best for him. You can see he's beaten two friends and is to top the speed wall, so he's done pretty well there. So that's kind of a simple example of how Autolog brings your friends into the heart of the game and builds this friendly competition through seamless comparison.
Now, Dano's obviously playing solo right there, but these types of events you can also get a bunch of other players online, right?
Absolutely. One of the really cool things about the game is that you can play 8 players online, but you can have any mixture you want to. If you're playing with friends, you can have 1 cop and 7 racers, or you can have 7 cops and 1 racer, and any mixture in between. And you play Hot Pursuit, and it's pretty much what Dana just played there. The racers are trying to get to the end of the race, the cops are trying to shut them down. But obviously, we throw into the mix the different exotic vehicles in the game, we throw in the different weapon types, the upgraded weapons and the different times of day, the different weather cycles and the different routes. So there's lots in there for everybody.
All right, cool. Well, we're big fans of Burnout Paradise here in the office, and so we're obviously very much looking forward to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Last question I've got for you then is, when do you expect the game to be out?
I don't expect it to be out. When do I know it's coming out?
When do you know it's coming out?
I know the game is coming out on November the 16th, because I'm on vacation and the game's done.
And the game is all done, complete. You're going to go off and enjoy the States.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Craig.
Thank you, sir.
Dana, great work in the race right there.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so that is your look at Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Now on with the rest of the show.